The wounded warrior and the human stranger. Smoke filled the air. The ground was cracked, burned, and covered in blood. Metal ships were broken, bodies lay still, and the sound of war was fading into silence. Kira, a powerful alien warrior of the Raskari Empire, was lying in the rubble. Her armor was damaged, her arms burned, and her breathing weak. She tried to get up, but her legs refused to move. Her sharp black eyes scanned the empty battlefield. Everyone was gone. Or so she thought. A soft sound made her head turn. Footsteps. Someone was walking slowly over the crushed stone. She reached for her energy blade, but it was missing. Her other weapon, a plasma gun, had melted in the heat. Then she saw him. A human. Tall, calm, and completely unarmed. His clothes were dusty, but his face was clean. His eyes, strangely gentle, met hers. What is this? Kira growled, trying to lift herself. The man didn't run. He didn't look afraid. Instead, he knelt down beside her. "You're hurt," he said quietly. "You won't survive long unless I help you." Kira's face twisted in anger. "You? Help me? A weak human?" She coughed and spat at the ground. "I'd rather die." But the man didn't move. He opened a small device on his wrist and pressed a few buttons. A soft light glowed, and several tiny silver insects flew out of the device. "What are those?" she hissed. "Nanobots," the man replied. "They can enter your bloodstream, repair your heart, and stop the bleeding. But for that, I need your permission." "You think I'd let you put machines inside me?" she shouted. He sighed. "Listen, I'm not your enemy. I'm not here to fight. I crash-landed nearby. You're the only one alive, and you're dying. Let me help you." Kira's vision started to blur. The pain was getting worse. Her body was failing. "Why would you help me?" she asked, her voice shaking. "Because I don't like watching people die," he said simply, "even if they're not human." Kira tried to laugh, but it came out like a cough. "You're insane." He smiled. "Maybe, but I'm also your only chance." She stared at him, her mind spinning. Her people would call her weak for trusting a human, but something in his voice felt honest. And her heart, it was slowing down. "Fine," she whispered. "Do it." The man nodded and tapped his wrist again. The silver insects flew toward her chest and disappeared into her skin. Kira gasped. Her body stiffened. She could feel something moving inside her. It was cold, but not painful. Then, slowly, the pain started to fade. "What's your name?" she asked. "Ethan," he replied. "And yours?" "Kira, commander of the 3rd Raskari Fleet." "Well, Commander Kira," Ethan said with a grin, "you've just been upgraded." Her wounds began to close. Her vision cleared. She could breathe again. But then she heard something that made her freeze. A voice. Inside her head. "Kira, can you hear me?" the voice said. Her eyes widened. "Ethan." "Yes," the voice replied. "I connected our minds using the neural interface in the nanobots. It helps me guide the healing process." "You're inside me?" she whispered in shock. "Yes," he said again, "but just in the bloodstream. I'm not controlling anything." Kira sat up slowly, her eyes full of fire. "You better not try anything stupid, human," she warned. "I can still tear your limbs off." "Fair enough," Ethan replied, laughing softly in her mind. Then something in the sky caught her eye. A red light. Scout drones from the enemy fleet. "They're coming back," she growled. Ethan's voice turned serious. "Then we have to move. I can help you run faster, heal faster, hide better, but only if you let me." She looked down at her hands. Her body was healing. Her strength was returning. "All because of him. I don't trust you," she said. "You don't have to. Just survive." Kira stood up. Slowly, painfully, the fire in her heart was back. "Fine," she said, "but one wrong move, and I will kill you." "Deal," Ethan replied. Together, the wounded alien warrior and the strange human disappeared into the shadows of the dead battlefield, hunted by machines and haunted by a bond that neither of them truly understood yet. But one thing was certain: this was only the beginning. 2 minds, 1 body. Kira moved quickly through the broken forest, her boots crunching dead leaves and cracked roots. Her body was healing faster than she could understand. The burns on her arms were gone. Her breathing was smooth again. Her legs, once frozen with pain, now felt strong. But her mind was in chaos. Inside her head, a voice she didn't want was speaking calmly, guiding her through the terrain like it belonged there. "Turn left. There's a deep crater ahead. You'll fall in if you keep going," she growled. "I don't need your help, Ethan." "Then by all means, Commander, walk straight into that hole." Kira stopped just in time. A deep black crater opened right in front of her, hidden under dust and fog. Her heart skipped a beat. She took a deep breath and turned away, furious. "You humans, you're always in someone's way." "I could say the same about you aliens," Ethan replied, sounding amused. "But I'm not here to argue. I'm here to survive. Just like you." Kira hated this. Her body was her temple, her weapon. The idea of something inside her, talking to her, controlling things, made her feel weak. But the truth was harder to deny. Since Ethan entered her bloodstream, she felt stronger, faster, and more alert. Even her vision had sharpened. Still, she needed answers. "How exactly are you in my head?" she asked as she climbed over a fallen tree. "I didn't mean to connect our minds," Ethan explained. "The nanobots are programmed to sync with the host's nervous system, but because I'm still linked to them, we're sharing space now." "Sharing space. You make it sound like we're roommates." "Not roommates," Ethan said. "More like co-pilots." Kira rolled her eyes. "Well, I don't remember giving you permission to take the wheel." "I didn't take it. You dropped it when you were bleeding out." She almost smiled, but stopped herself. "Don't get comfortable, human. This is temporary." Then she froze. Ahead, in the clearing, lay the shattered remains of a Raskari scout drone. Its blue light was still blinking weakly, but that wasn't what made her stop. It was the energy signature near it. Kira narrowed her eyes. "Someone else is here," Ethan responded instantly. "Yes, I sense a power pulse, but it's not Raskari. It's not human either." They crouched low in the bushes as a shadow moved through the smoke. Kira's body tensed. Her pulse quickened. "Let me boost your reflexes," Ethan said. "I can enhance your muscle fibers just for a few seconds." "No," Kira whispered. "I fight my own battles." "You don't have to," Ethan said softly. Kira hesitated. Her pride wanted to fight alone, but her warrior instincts knew better. "Do it," she finally whispered. A warm sensation moved through her arms, her legs, her back. Her body felt lighter, sharper, like the edge of a blade freshly forged. Then the enemy appeared. A bounty hunter, dressed in dark red armor, stepped into the clearing. His helmet was covered in sharp horns, and his weapon was already charged. "Kira of the Raskari," he called. "You're worth 10,000 credits, dead or alive." Kira stepped out. "I'm worth more than that." The hunter fired, but she moved like lightning. Dodging left, she flipped over a broken log, pulled a shard of metal from the ground, and threw it like a spear. It pierced the hunter's arm. He screamed. Ethan whispered in her mind, "Nice throw." "Shut up," she muttered as she charged. The fight was fast, violent, and beautiful. Ethan guided her movements just slightly, timing, angle, balance, until it was over. Kira stood over the unconscious hunter, panting hard. Her hand shook slightly, not from fear, but from something else. "You okay?" Ethan asked. Kira looked down at her hands. They didn't feel like just hers anymore. "I feel too powerful," she whispered. "Because we're sensing," Ethan said. The nanobots are merging deeper with your nervous system. It's making us one. She took a step back. I didn't agree to that. It's not something I can stop now, Ethan said. It's a biological reaction. The closer we stay, the stronger the connection grows. Kira shook her head. This is wrong. This is invasion. No, Ethan said gently. It's survival. For both of us. She didn't respond. Her breathing slowed. Her heartbeat echoed in her ears. She sat down on a rock, staring into the trees. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Then a soft memory floated into her mind, not hers, but his. A woman crying. A lab exploding. Children being loaded onto ships, screaming. What? What is this? She whispered. Ethan's voice went quiet. You saw that. I didn't try to, Kira said. It just appeared. You're seeing my memories, Ethan said after a pause. The connection is stronger than I thought. Kira stood up, trembling. What are you hiding from me, human? Ethan didn't answer. Instead, a new sound filled her head. A robotic voice. Warning. Compatibility level 43%. Neural fusion initiated. Host and passenger will now experience cross-empathy. What does that mean? She shouted. Ethan's voice was soft. It means you're not just feeling your own emotions anymore. And for the first time, Kira realized she wasn't angry. She was afraid. Not of Ethan, but of what she was becoming. The chase through acid rain. Dark clouds swirled above the ruined landscape. The sky rumbled like a hungry beast, and green flashes of lightning danced across the horizon. Rain began to fall, thick, hissing drops that burned holes in the ground. It wasn't water, it was acid. Kira pulled the hood of her damaged armor over her head. Her skin sizzled where the armor had torn open, but she didn't stop. Behind her, heavy metal footsteps echoed in the distance. The enemy had sent hunter drones, cold, emotionless machines that never stopped until their target was dead. Beside her, inside her, Ethan's voice was calm but urgent. They're scanning every life form. If they catch your energy signature, they'll fire without mercy. We need to hide. Now. There's nowhere to hide. Kira hissed, ducking behind a rusted cargo pod. There is, Ethan said, but you have to trust me. Kira's eyes narrowed. I've trusted you too much already. You're alive, aren't you? He replied. Before she could answer, a blast of red light struck the ground next to her. The shockwave knocked her off her feet. A drone appeared overhead, its long body like a flying knife. Its glowing blue eyes locked on her. She rolled away just as it fired again. Ethan spoke quickly. I can cloak your body. Only for a few seconds. I'll bend the molecules around you, scatter the heat signature. But I need you to let go of control. Kira's heart pounded. You want me to give up control of my own body? Just for a moment. A third blast came closer. The drone was zeroing in. Kira gritted her teeth. Fine. Do it. Her vision blurred as Ethan activated the cloaking protocol. A strange coolness wrapped around her. Her skin tingled. The acid rain seemed to pause in midair, sliding off her like oil on glass. Her body shimmered and vanished from sight. The drone flew directly above her, scanning. Then it moved on. Kira stayed frozen, breathing fast. You're safe, Ethan whispered. For now. She dropped to her knees behind the pod. The cloaking faded slowly. Her body reappeared. That was terrifying, she said. Yeah, Ethan said with a soft laugh. But also kind of cool, right? She didn't respond. Her body still felt like it was made of fog and metal. It wasn't hers anymore. Not fully. But she didn't have time to think about that now. The rain was falling harder. The ground hissed and bubbled where it touched. The air smelled like melted iron. We can't stay out here, she said. We'll burn. Ethan scanned the area through her sensors. There's a tunnel system below this valley. Old transport lines. If we get there, we can hide. Kira stood, shielding her face from the acidic drops. "Lead the way." They ran through the storm. Kira's boots slid over wet stones, her armor sparking from the damage. Ethan guided her from within, telling her where to step, when to duck, how to breathe. They were no longer two minds fighting each other. They were moving as one. But then something strange happened. As they ran, Kira felt a sharp pull in her chest. Not pain, something else. A memory, not hers. She saw a little boy running through a lab, laughing. A woman in a white coat chasing him. The boy stopped and pointed at a screen full of stars. "That one," he said. "That's where we'll go someday." The vision faded. Kira stumbled. What was that? Ethan was silent. "Ethan," she asked again. "I didn't mean for you to see that," he said softly. "Who was the boy?" "Me," he replied. "A long time ago." They reached the edge of the valley, where a broken vent opened into darkness. Kira climbed down first, ignoring the burning rain on her back. Inside, the tunnel was dry, cold, and silent. Old transport rails lined the floor. Broken lights flickered along the walls. She dropped to her knees, panting. "Why are your memories inside me?" she asked. "Because the fusion is deepening," Ethan said. "We're sharing more than just space now. We're starting to feel each other." "That's not right," Kira said. "I don't want to feel what you feel." "Neither do I," he said. "But here we are." They sat in silence for a while. The only sound was the wind howling through the broken vent above them. Then Kira asked quietly, "What happened to the woman in your memory?" Ethan didn't answer right away. When he finally spoke, his voice was low. "She died. Because of something I built." Kira's eyes narrowed. "What was it?" "A nanoweapon," Ethan said. "It was supposed to end wars without killing anyone. But someone turned it into something else. Something monstrous." Kira leaned against the wall. The weight in her chest wasn't hers. It was his. "You're not what I expected," she said. "Neither are you," he replied. Then something beeped in her mind. A warning. Fusion level, 57%. Emotional cross-link stabilized. Dream sharing now possible. "What does that mean?" she asked. "It means we'll soon be able to enter each other's dreams." Kira stared into the darkness. "That's not a bond," she whispered. "That's a prison." "Maybe," Ethan said quietly. "Or maybe it's something else." Suddenly, the wall behind them exploded. A drone had found them. Kira screamed as debris flew through the tunnel. Ethan yelled in her head. "Run. Now." She grabbed a steel pipe and ran deeper into the tunnel, the acid rain behind her and death chasing them underground. And as they ran, she couldn't tell anymore where her fear ended and his began. His secret could end her race. The tunnel walls echoed with the sound of her footsteps. Kira ran harder than she had ever run before, her lungs burning, her muscles screaming. Sparks rained from the ceiling as the drone chased them, its red eyes glowing in the dark. Ethan was fully focused now, his voice sharp in her mind. "Left. Go left now." Kira turned just in time to avoid a plasma beam that exploded behind her. Stone and metal shattered. The tunnel shook. Dust covered her face, but she didn't stop. "I'm rerouting your blood flow, giving your legs more strength," Ethan said. "You've got 15 seconds of enhanced speed. Use it." Kira pushed harder, moving like a shadow in the wind. She burst through a broken hatch and leaped into an old cargo shaft. The drone followed, smashing its way through the wall. "Up there," Ethan said. She jumped, grabbing a rusty ladder, and climbed with all her strength. Her hand slipped. Her armor was cracked, but she made it to the top. She rolled onto a metal platform just as the drone fired again. The blast missed her by inches, but the shockwave knocked her back. Then, silence. The drone's systems failed. It sparked once, then died. "Why did it stop?" she asked, gasping. "Because I overloaded its core from the inside," Ethan said. I uploaded a virus through your neural link. It used your energy as a carrier. Kira sat up slowly. You used my body to kill that thing. Yes, he said. It was the only way. Her heart pounded. Something about that felt wrong. She stood up and walked toward an old maintenance room. Inside there were flickering lights, dry storage boxes, and a shattered mirror on the wall. Kira stared at her reflection. Her skin looked different now, softer, lighter. Her eyes, once pure black, now had faint silver lines running through them. Her fingertips glowed slightly. I'm changing, she whispered. I know, Ethan said gently. This isn't healing anymore, she said. This is transformation. The nanobots were designed to adapt, to match and improve. They've learned from your DNA and merged it with mine. Kira turned to the mirror. I look like a hybrid. You are, Ethan said, but you're still you. She clenched her fists. You don't understand what this means. My people, if they see me like this, they'll think I've been infected. They'll destroy me. Then we won't let them see you. Kira turned, her voice trembling with quiet rage. This isn't just about survival anymore. You're hiding something, Ethan. I saw the lab in your memories. I saw the woman, the boy. But there's more. Ethan didn't answer. Kira stepped closer to the wall, her hands shaking. You said the nanoweapon was built to stop wars, she said. But it was turned into something else. Who turned it? Who used it first? Ethan's voice was low now. I did. Kira froze. I don't believe you. It was an accident, he said. A test. We didn't know it would spread that fast. I was young. I thought it was just data, information that could rewrite violent instincts. But it became something worse. It learned to attack those with aggression. Kira backed away from the wall, her heart racing. Wait, you mean? Yes, Ethan said. The weapon targets the parts of the brain responsible for violence and domination. It restructures them. But with certain species, he paused. Kira's breath caught in her throat. With my species. It causes death, Ethan whispered. Kira collapsed to her knees. You're inside me, she whispered. And this weapon is inside you. Yes, but it's not active. She looked up, her eyes glowing with fury. It doesn't matter. If my people find out, they'll think you're trying to wipe us out. I'm not, Ethan said. I'm trying to fix what I broke. I've spent years searching for a way to reverse it. That's why I needed a live host. Someone strong. Someone like you. Kira stared at him. No, not at him. Into herself. Into the voice that now shared her thoughts. The human who had saved her, and might also be the death of her people. This is why you didn't tell me from the start, she said. Yes. You used me. At first, yes, Ethan admitted. But not now. She stood slowly. Her body shook, not from fear, but from confusion. Emotion. Conflict. She wasn't just Raskari anymore. She wasn't just a warrior. She was something new. Kira walked to the back of the room. There was a narrow lift shaft leading upward. Broken wires dangled from the ceiling. A faint light shimmered above. We're going to my people, she said. What? They need to see what you've done, what I've become. They'll kill you, or capture you, or worse. Kira turned toward the lift. Maybe, she said, but if this bond is real, if I'm truly more than a weapon now, then I have to face them. I have to show them what we are. Ethan's voice was quiet. You could be their only chance. She looked down at her glowing hand, or their final mistake. She stepped onto the lift and pulled the lever. As the platform rose slowly toward the surface, Kira closed her eyes. And for the first time, Ethan didn't speak, because even he didn't know what would happen next. Betrayal at the Crystal Bridge. The Crystal Bridge was a place of beauty and danger. It stretched between two rocky cliffs over a river of glowing blue lava. The bridge itself was made of living crystal, grown from Raskari science, designed to light up only when a Raskari warrior stepped on it. The light represented honor, purity, loyalty to the Empire. Kira had walked across it many times in the past, but never like this. Not with a human inside her, not with secrets burning in her blood. She stood at the edge of the bridge, breathing deeply. Her armor had repaired itself with Ethan's help. Her body no longer hurt, but her heart felt heavier than ever. Behind her, the storm still raged in the skies. Acid rain had stopped, but black clouds swirled like smoke monsters. The wind howled through the mountains. Her dark cape fluttered behind her. Inside her mind, Ethan finally spoke. "You're quiet." "I'm thinking," Kira replied. "About your plan." "Yes. You know they'll sense me. Your people. They'll know something's wrong the second you walk in." "I know." Ethan hesitated. "Then why are you doing this?" Kira stepped onto the first crystal tile. It glowed beneath her foot. "Because if I keep running, I become exactly what they fear. A traitor. A hybrid. A threat. And if you go back, they'll either accept the truth," she paused, "or destroy me." The second step lit up. Each step she took made the bridge brighter. The glowing tiles spread beneath her feet like a path of stars. She remembered being a child, crossing this bridge with her mother. Her mother's voice echoed in her mind. "The bridge only lights for those who are pure in purpose." Kira wasn't sure what her purpose was anymore, but she walked anyway. "What if they separate us?" Ethan asked. "Pull me out of you? Kill me?" "I don't know. And what if you plan to betray me all along?" Kira stopped. The question hung heavy between them. Then she whispered, "Would you hate me if I did?" Ethan didn't answer right away. Then his voice returned, quieter than before. "No, I'd just be disappointed." The silence after that was painful. She kept walking. The end of the bridge came into view. Large gates carved from crystal rose in front of her, guarded by 2 armored Raskari sentinels. They stood tall, weapons in hand. When they saw her, their eyes widened. "Kira," one said in shock. "Commander Kira," the other added. They scanned her quickly. Her energy signature was strange. Her aura was different. And her eyes. They were no longer completely black. Something was wrong. "Stand down," Kira ordered. "Let me pass." "You were declared missing after the battlefield explosion," said the first guard. "And your biosignal, it's corrupted." Kira's voice hardened. "Open the gates." They looked at each other, then nodded. The gates began to shift open, revealing the city beyond. Tall crystal towers, glowing streets, and thousands of Raskari warriors marching in perfect lines. As Kira entered, her thoughts were racing. She remembered what Ethan had confessed. He was the one who built the nanoweapon, and now that weapon lived inside her. She walked straight to the central tower, where the council waited. She had sent a signal earlier, requesting emergency contact. The council thought she had returned from the dead, that she had survived the battlefield. They had no idea what she had become. "You're shaking," Ethan whispered. "I'm fine. You're not." Inside the tower, golden lights shimmered like sun rays trapped in glass. The council sat on high chairs, their faces half covered with metal masks. The Raskari queen stood in the center, tall, beautiful, deadly. Her eyes locked onto Kira. "You've changed," the queen said coldly. "Yes," Kira replied. "I survived. I adapted." "Your blood is impure," said one of the council elders. "You carry human signals." "She's infected," another growled. "I carry a human," Kira corrected. "His name is Ethan. He saved my life." Whispers filled the room. "You bonded with the enemy," the queen said. "No," Kira replied. "I bonded with a mind, a soul, not an enemy." The queen's voice was calm but cold. "You've been corrupted. You may not even be in control anymore." "I am," Kira said, "and I brought him here to tell you the truth." She took a step forward. "I want you to meet him." The queen narrowed her eyes. You want us to speak to the human inside you. Kira nodded. He's not your enemy. He's more like a mirror, and what you see in him, you might also see in yourselves. The Queen raised her hand, and everything changed. Dozens of hidden guards appeared. Energy nets surrounded Kira. A cold force clamped around her neck. I knew it, the Queen said. I knew this was a trap. You are not one of us anymore. Wait, Kira shouted, but it was too late. Pain surged through her body. The energy net triggered a shock that made her scream. She fell to her knees. Inside her mind, Ethan cried out, Kira, what's happening? They betrayed me, she whispered. I'm losing connection. The Queen walked closer. We will remove the parasite, and if we cannot, we will burn it out. No, Kira yelled, but she couldn't move. Her vision blurred. Everything around her faded, and the last thing she heard was Ethan's voice. I'm still here. I won't leave you. Fusion begins. The heart of the warrior. Darkness. Kira floated in it, surrounded by silence, weightless and cold. She wasn't dead, but she wasn't alive in the same way anymore. Her body was frozen. Her thoughts scattered. She tried to move, but she couldn't feel her arms, her legs, even her heartbeat felt distant. Can you hear me? Ethan's voice echoed softly in her mind. She wanted to reply, to scream, but she couldn't. They've separated us, he said quietly. They put your body into stasis. They're trying to isolate me from your nervous system. Flashes of light flickered through her mind. Memories, half-formed images. The battlefield, the acid rain, the bridge, her mother's voice, Ethan's laughter, the moment the drone died from her touch. And now, silence from the outside world. She had trusted her people. They had betrayed her. They're afraid of you, Ethan whispered. And they should be, because you've become more than they understand. Inside the crystal tower, Kira's body was locked in a containment pod. Bright cables were connected to her back, her chest, her temples. She floated in glowing fluid while Raskari scientists monitored her brain activity. Outside the pod, the Queen stood still, her face unreadable. She's stronger than we expected, said one of the researchers. The fusion has reached nearly 70%. We can still remove the human, said another. No, the Queen replied. We must study them. Together, they may be the key to defeating the other species. The other council members looked at her in confusion. You plan to use the human. I plan to understand them, she replied coldly. And then decide whether to destroy them or become them. Inside Kira's mind, the walls were breaking. The deeper the Raskari scientists tried to dig, the stronger Ethan's presence became. They're trying to tear us apart, Ethan said. But they don't understand. The fusion isn't just physical anymore. It's emotional. It's spiritual. In that silent inner space, Ethan appeared in front of Kira, not as a voice, but as a glowing shape, human in form, soft in light. Kira, in her mind, stood as herself too, though her skin glowed with both Raskari blue and a strange golden human hue. What are we becoming? She asked him. I don't know, he said honestly, but I think it's beautiful. Kira looked down at her chest. There was a crack in her armor, right over her heart. Inside, she saw pulsing light, not just energy, not just power, something more. Feelings, connection, love. I was trained to fight, Kira whispered, to lead, to never feel weakness, never feel this. Ethan stepped closer. This isn't weakness, Kira. This is what your people feared all along. Not war, not death, but change. She looked up. Can we stop them from tearing us apart? We don't have to stop them, Ethan said. We become more than they can hold. Kira closed her eyes, and something clicked. A sound like thunder, a light like sunrise. In the lab, alarms screamed. The fluid in Kira's chamber began to boil. The cables sparked. The walls trembled. "She's waking up," a scientist shouted. "Shut it down." But it was too late. The crystal pod shattered into a million glowing shards. Kira dropped to the floor, steam rising from her skin. Her eyes burned with golden blue fire. Her armor had changed. It had fused with her own body. Her muscles shimmered like living metal. Her hands left glowing prints on the ground. The Queen stepped back. "What are you?" Kira looked up slowly. Something new. The guards aimed their weapons. Ethan's voice whispered in her mind, "I'm still with you." Kira smiled and moved. She was faster than light, stronger than gravity. The guards fired, but their weapons melted midair. She reached out with one glowing hand, and the entire wall of the tower cracked. The Queen raised her sword. "Stop. You'll destroy everything." Kira stood tall. Her voice was calm, but deep, layered with her own tone. And Ethan's. "No," she said. "I'll rebuild it." "Rebuild what?" the Queen asked. Kira stepped forward. "Everything." The Queen struck, but her blade never touched Kira. It turned to crystal in midair and shattered. Kira caught the Queen by the arm, but didn't hurt her. Instead, she placed her other hand over the Queen's chest. A pulse of golden blue energy passed between them, and in that moment, the Queen felt everything. Ethan's pain, Kira's fear, their fusion, their bond. She fell to her knees, trembling. "I see it now," the Queen whispered. "You are not broken. You are whole." Kira stepped back. "I was always whole. You just didn't want to see it." She turned and walked to the shattered gates of the tower. The council watched in silence. The guards lowered their weapons. The scientists ran. No one stopped her. She was no longer just a warrior. She was a living bridge between species, between war and peace, between hate and love. And deep inside, Ethan whispered, "You found your heart." Kira smiled. "No," she said, "I found ours." A new breed of warrior. The stars above Raskari Prime shimmered brighter than ever. But the world below held its breath. The entire city had gone silent. After Kira's transformation inside the tower, nothing felt the same. The council chambers were cracked. The Queen had fallen to her knees. The soldiers had lowered their weapons. For the first time in centuries, no orders were shouted. No drills echoed in the training grounds. The silence was not fear. It was awe. Kira stepped out of the broken crystal tower, her skin glowing with golden blue light. Her armor had fused with her body, pulsing softly like it had a heartbeat. Her hair, once jet black, now shimmered with silver streaks. Her voice, when she spoke, carried both power and peace. Inside her, Ethan was still present, not as a voice commanding or guiding her, but as a soul, quietly walking beside hers. They were no longer two minds sharing space. They were one, not in control of each other, but connected by something deeper. Trust, love, purpose. High above the city, in orbit, warships from both the Raskari and the Terran Federation arrived. Alarms lit up across the city's sky towers. Old war codes activated. Defense shields buzzed to life. The council gathered quickly, still shaken. "They've come," said one elder. "Both sides. They think something terrible has happened." "Because something has happened," whispered the Queen, still kneeling. She looked up at Kira. "You're not just a soldier anymore. You're something beyond." Kira looked to the sky. "They're here for me," she said. "To capture me, or to kill me." The Queen stood slowly. "Then we must protect you." Kira shook her head. "No, I don't want war." "Then what do you want?" the Queen asked. Kira turned her gaze outward. Her voice was calm. "I want them to see me." Soon after, a communication beam was sent to both fleets. A simple message: "Come down, but come unarmed." Both sides hesitated, but curiosity was stronger than fear. Within hours, 2 landing crafts arrived, one from the Raskari army, and one from Earth's Terran Federation. High-ranking commanders stepped out, both sides glaring at each other, weapons left behind. And standing between them was Kira, the hybrid, the warrior, the bridge. "I called you here," she said, her voice ringing across the valley, "because your war is over, whether you want it to be or not." The human general frowned. "You are Kira, correct? Former commander of the Raskari. We have orders to detain the host carrying the stolen nanoweapon, code-named ETHX. Kira looked directly at him. "I am the host. I am the weapon. And I am also the cure." The Raskari commander growled. "She is no longer one of us. Her blood is mixed. She is dangerous." "You're right," Kira said. "I'm not one of you. I'm more." She walked forward, lifting her hand. "You both fear each other. You both fear change. But I changed. I merged with a human mind. And what I found wasn't weakness." Her voice softened. "I found hope." Behind her, the queen stepped forward. She looked different too. After feeling Ethan's memories through the pulse Kira gave her, something inside the queen had cracked. She had seen the pain, the regret, the humanity, and she could not unsee it. "The Raskari Empire will no longer pursue war," the queen announced. "We will study this bond. We will grow from it." The Terran general looked shocked. "You're surrendering." "No," said Kira, stepping forward. "We're evolving." Suddenly, both ships received new orders. Satellites had scanned Kira's body from orbit. The readings were impossible. Her DNA was no longer just alien or human. It was something else. It had adapted. It could heal, replicate, resist death, feel emotions stronger than any recorded system. It could even rewrite the emotional core of other beings when connected. Kira was not just a hybrid. She was a beginning and a warning. Later that night, after the commanders left to report back to their leaders, Kira stood alone on a mountain ledge. The stars above her danced. Inside, Ethan's voice returned, quiet and soft. "They're going to talk about you for generations." "I didn't want that," Kira said. "I just wanted to survive." "But survival wasn't enough," he replied. "You became something no one expected." She smiled faintly. "What does that make us?" "The future," Ethan whispered. A soft breeze passed over the mountain. Kira closed her eyes. And then, without warning, she was no longer standing alone. Ethan appeared beside her, his form now glowing and clear, not just a voice in her head, not a ghost, but a new kind of being, made from memory, light, and energy. He smiled at her. "You look real," she said. "I feel real," he replied. "You gave me that." She reached out, and their fingers touched. Not metal, not wires, not data, but warmth, connection. They stood in silence, looking at the stars. Somewhere far above, two great armies pulled back, confused, but no longer certain they were enemies. And in the silence, the galaxy shifted, because one Raskari warrior and one human soul had proven that peace wasn't a surrender. It was evolution.